Well, hello, YouTube. It wouldn't be YouTube without technical errors. Every time I get a good signal, it says that I'm not connected. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So, yeah, it's gonna be a night. I don't know if you can hear me. Let me switch some things around here. There's gonna be a big noise here while I attach this. Sorry about that. All right. Scarf, hat, other hat. Put on my cute hat for the thing. Alrighty, so I hope everybody else's 2025 has gone decent. I know it hasn't, but that's enough of that rant. We can only hope that next year will go better. But let's just talk about all of the other junk. Yeah, sound good? Okay. So 2025, I have been working on my game, but I haven't been putting in the real effort. I have been repeatedly told by people that they want to help, and then I say, great, let's do this thing, and I don't actually, they want to help. I'm not saying there's any problem with that. I'm just saying that people are not in a place where writing a role-playing game is necessarily everybody else's, I guess, what's the word? Raison d'etre for the year? I don't know. So, yeah, I have been building things just to build things. I don't really have a specific reason to build them. I don't know why I'm building the ship other than I have docks. The trees don't really have a project to go with, and they're having trouble. I'm going to have to fix those. That may be in a future episode of, hey, I screwed this up. Basically, for whatever reason, the glue is not sticking the flock on very well, and the outer adhesive. I think that may have to do with the quantity of spray paint that's under the flock. So I may have to hit that with some white glue in a different way and go through multiple layers of getting. Trees can wait for another day. Trees are the least of my worries right now. I am going to start to work on the lore for my game. You're like, are you switching gears? I'm not. Stick with me. The lore for my game will then potentially drive like vignettes and scenes and ideas for my game, which I can then build toward. So I will have some scenes that are like, oh, this scene is going to, this little vignette be not the other thing. There's several other things. In the coming year, I will be switching things up. I've been working on Sunday nights, which seems to interfere with pretty much everybody except me. It's when it fits into my schedule. I can shuffle my schedule around. Just going to take a minute to do that. I got to discuss things with the housemates, things like that. So I will be, my goal, my intent is to have these, instead of on Sundays, have them be on Saturdays and a couple of hours earlier. Like, yeah, tech gremlins are extremely mad tonight. Yeah, no doubt. A thing that to kind of tell you where my brain is. One of my other rubble bins, actually 3 of my other rubble bins, fell on the floor, and I cleaned them up in a month. Let's see, what else did I do this year? I built the ship, the trees, the docks, the dinghies. Did I work on my city blocks this year at all? I know I showed them off in a couple things with some of the ship, with some of the little boat builds. I'm not sure exactly what was going on with that. So yeah, this is going to be a problem. So I am going to disappear and come back in a different stream. I'm going to have to reboot. So I don't know if y'all can hear me. So So yeah, I'm gonna close some things out, and I will be right back. We will see if I can't get this to get a better connection. Actually, I'm gonna try something else first. Okay. So it says it's stabilized because I literally unplugged my Wi-Fi dongle and plugged it back in. I'm in Wi-Fi down here in the basement. I don't have the ability to run a cable as far as I need to run it to have a wired connection. So hopefully it is doing better now. Callie Lynn says tablet is behaving poorly, so had to reboot as well. Yeah, so it's that kind of night. Maybe it's just the end of the year stuff. Maybe lots of people are doing lots of things. Maybe all of the people from YouTube are a little too deep in the eggnog. I have no idea. So it says I've got a good connection now. So we will see if I can make this work from now. Yeah, okay, so here I am. So I don't know if y'all caught any of that. So I'm going to rehash. In this year, I have built the trees that you just saw me build last week. They are having some problems. I'm going to have to figure out how to re-glue them because unlike any other tree I've ever built before, the flock just falls off of them. I don't know why it's not sticking. Maybe it's the age of my clear coat. Maybe it's the age of the spray part of the clear coat from before. Maybe it's the paint that's underneath was too strong and it doesn't want to stick to the paint instead of the fiber that I don't know. So those are probably going to get coated with very thinned out white glue with some rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol to thin it, because otherwise it just wants to run through. The problem with that is it's so messy doing it that way. White glue is never my go-to in the first place. So yeah, I've built dinghies. I still haven't figured out these, trees. I have to re-glue the trees. Dinghies, I still haven't figured out how to, that's a skills issue. That's a get good, scrub. Figured out how to create templates to scale so that they can be printed out. So I think what I'm going to do is just draw them out sort of basic and say this is a basis and put those out for people so that they can have them. I'm intending those to be free to begin with. I still need to do the video on, that's 2026. We'll get to that in a minute. I made the dinghies, I made the docks, I made the piers, which is one episode. I think it was 2 episodes. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about going forward. I need to, I did all that farm stuff for that challenge. Yeah, I did farm stuff. The farm stuff was really cool. Really enjoyed that. Turned out really great. Really enjoyed that. Excuse me. Going forward, I, again, will be switching this stream from Sundays to Saturdays, not next week, but soon. And it will be earlier if I do that. So instead of like 7 on Sundays, it'll be 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays instead of Sundays. I plan on putting out edited videos rather than just the lives. The edited videos, I plan on being either very small builds, like here's how you make the dinghies, or skills build, like here's how I created, here's 3 different ways I created tiles or bricks for a thing. And it'll just be creating little squares of things. It won't be for a whole build. I also will be putting out some bigger, longer videos of, as I said, I've got to work on this game. It's been like a driving force in the back of my head for years, and I'm finally getting it, not on the paper, but digitally typed out and everything. So I'm working on the role-playing game. As I do that, I'm going to create settings and vignettes of things that could happen in my game. And I will be building toward that. So there'll be like, the mine entrance is one of the ones I have and some other things like that. So I'm going to be building larger builds. Those will come out sporadically, kind of whenever. I plan on having the little skills, the little short ones, come out fairly often. Specifically on those, though, I have the dinghy build, the rubble pile build, and there was a third one, but I'll figure it out later. So change the time of the lives, have more of the edited videos, have some of the longer edited videos, but only have those be every once in a while, because those seem to never, my longest watch time on any of my videos is the average is like 6.5 minutes. So that's on these lives and on the ones before, when I used to do stuff as much as an hour long, anywhere from like 10 minutes to an hour long. Most people don't even watch the whole 10 minutes. So, let's talk about the game. The first setting I do will be medieval, but it won't be anything you've seen before. It won't be typical Eurocentric or Nippon-centric settings. It won't be the same orcs, the same elves, the same goblins, the same humans. It won't be the same as that. It'll be, I've got my own races and my own social structures for the, it's hard to not put it in Eurocentric terms, but empires. And that, I got to work on the lore. That's where the game comes in. The system I've got pretty much down. I got to play test the system and some stuff like that. But I think I know where I'm going with that. I did have to stop that and restart it, because I realized that there were some things that just wouldn't work. As I do that, I'm going to be creating regions and areas for that world. When I do that, I will be creating towns. In those towns, I will have settings, and in and around those towns, I will have settings. And that is what my longer builds will be for. So, yeah. If anybody's interested in actually helping with writing a role-playing game, let me know in my Discord. Links in the down below. I am going to need art, so I'm going to have to learn that, because I can't afford that. So I'm going to have to learn that, or I'm going to have to be using or modifying public domain art. And some of it will be stuff that I've drawn. Some will be some that are public domain works. Some that'll be things that are modified public domain works. No AI, nothing LLM, none of that. Nothing. Can't stand it. It's, in my opinion, just lazy. Yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to lapse into here. I'm just thinking. So that's really it. Anybody else had a great year, had a bad year and want to talk about it? If you want, come to the Discord. We're a big community of people. So if you want to brag, if you want to cry, if you want to share, come hang out in the Discord. There's people there that are wanting to hear your successes and wanting to be the shoulder to cry on for you if you need it. We're all in this together. So, yeah. I had this planned out, but then I had so many tech issues, it sort of wobbled my brain. So anybody out there crafting, just hanging out, you hear me waffle on, just being silly. I don't know what's going on. So speaking of statistics for my videos, my #1 video, the biggest video by far, numbers-wise, viewership-wise, things like that, the one that keeps getting bounced around by YouTube as a thing people should watch, is my 4-year-old video on how to texture EVA foam. I don't know that it's specifically because it's EVA or it's just how to texture foam. I am going to be doing, like I said, more methods of doing things, just short videos. So not trying to specifically capture on that. That's not a long video. It's like 42 minutes or something. Taking care of the cats, always important. Taking care of the pets, the fur kiddos, the real kiddos, whatever. It's all good. So yeah, I expected there to be more talking, but like I said, I was discombobulated by the thing breaking down. So I think I may switch to the camera here while I continue to try to think of things to talk about. I have some wire that's literally just electrical cable. That's I'm going to see if I can't make wireframe trees out of this, or if I can't do that, then I'm going to glue some paper together with some wire in between it, though I think this may be too thin for that, and make like palm fronds and stuff. I'm just playing around tonight. So, like I said, I'm not in any real hurry to do anything tonight. All right, now I've been kind of forgetting sometimes, so let me cover these. These are my Patreon patrons. They keep this channel going, hopefully with less blathering in the next episode. So DC, that's the Doodle Calibrator, is a personal friend, comes over, helps with the channel. The fact that you're seeing me and hearing me despite YouTube and Comcast being buttheads tonight is greatly due to DC helping me with setting my microphones and such. The wow, the lag is bad tonight. I was going to say something else about DC, but I don't remember what it was. Okay, Patrick Walther, that's Hacksaw of Hacksaw's Hobby Bunker, and he's got his own channel. Been a long time supporter of the channel. Really appreciate that. Dungeon Matron, that's Lisa, and she's been a long time supporter as well. And does not have her own YouTube channel of her own, but is one of the three principals on a channel called Just Flocking With You, along with Kim from Questboard Terrain and Carl from Carl Makes Stuff channels. So they have a thing every Wednesday where they get together and just chat with each other. And sometimes they have guests on. Sometimes they have a specific topic, like we've had holiday stuff going on. They've actually got a challenge going on right now for winter builds. I don't really build winter because I don't like the cold, and so building snowy stuff just makes me feel chilly. But they did some of the stuff I've seen for some of the people building for it has been kind of cool. So that's Just Flocking With You. And Lisa's was with the original crew of people with a channel called Crazy Crafter, and huge supporter of me this entire time, and I really appreciate it. So links to Lisa's stuff is down in the down belows as well. There's a link to Lisa's Discord where we just get together, discuss all sorts of crafting stuff. Then there's Solo Nick. Solo Nick is has two channels. He has one called Solo Nick where he does crafting stuff like what we do, like what I normally do. Not tonight, but I'm about to do some. And also has one called Climbing Moss where he does Man About Town stuff, where he goes where he's been to like Japan and Korea and goes to concerts and visits gaming stores and things like that. So that's Solo Nick and Climbing Moss. And then there's Mia Geeked. Mia Geeked has her own channel. Hasn't put out too many videos yet, but I'm hoping that will change coming in the new year, but maybe not. No pressure. And also has her own crafting Discord, which is kind of cool. So, and she's doing some amazing stuff right now. She's building some ruins. I don't know if they're for Trench Crusade or if they're for, no, they're for Frostgrave. They're for Frostgrave. She's going to put snow on them, I believe. And they have been coming along amazingly. She's doing a thing where she built it, and she put down a base coat, and then she's painting individual bricks here and there too, so it looks like they were. Anyway, it's looking amazing. It's looking amazing. So go check out Mia Geeked. I do not have a link to Mia Geek's Discord below, but if you want to go there, come meet me on my Discord and tell Mia, and she'll get you a link, or tell me and I'll get you a link. Yeah, so let me switch to this other camera, and there's always this big flash of light here, so let me get this turned on real quick. Okay, and that's going to settle down. Let me switch to this other camera over here. All right, ooh, yeah, mangled that. Sorry about my hand there, but Well, that's as good as I'm going to get tonight, I think. Please like, share, subscribe, and after the video, if you're watching now, refresh it and hit a comment, or just if you're watching this in the future, give me a comment and let me know what's going on, and just hit me up, have a chat. All good. All right, so it's not on my own way there. All right, so I'm gonna try to get this centered in the screen. That's as good as it's going to get, I think. All right, now I'm just going to take some of these about my first trees were made 7 inches tall. That's not the ones that I just made last week, but the one that I was using is the demo, and that was made with 7-inch pieces of string that ran across the ground as roots and then up the trunk and then out into the branches, and those were 7 inches, but those were not, in my opinion, long enough. So I think I'm going to make these 10 inches and see if I can't make this work. So I'm going to cut about 4 of these sections, and then I'm going to strip them. Actually, I'm going to strip them first. I don't know how I'm going to do that safely, because I'm going to do that with my hand, with my handheld knife here, and cutting away from myself because I am not stupid. I am forgetful, but I am not actively stupid. So, the problem with old janky stuff like this is it's janky. So I'm having trouble keeping it flat where I need to have the blade against it for the best cutting. And wow, it just quit cutting. I think I got to a dull spot in the blade, maybe. Or maybe I cut into the wire and the metal doesn't want to cut through. No, I don't know. So, yep, I am cutting the wire. Okay, let's try this a different way. Okay, let's nip that off. We'll do something else with that later. Okay. I'm going to take about 3 feet of that. Nip that off, because why not? These are not the greatest nippers in the world. And they have gotten a little, I don't know, you can't see it, but there's wiggle and wonkiness in them because, well, they're crummy. I got some better ones that I got from Daffodil Terraintronics, and those work much better than this, but I tend to only use those for my actual electronics. Yes, I'm working on a wire, but this is a craft, not a wiring, not an electronics project. Okay, so I need better glasses. Or better eyes. Huh. Okay, get all of my wire out of here. And by this time, I mean wire, the actual metal wire, not a whole cable. Once I get that out, all of that out, I am going to see if I can't just peel that. Nope, not a chance in heck. All right, so this may all end in tears, go pear-shaped. Yep, that's going to be a problem. All righty. All right, well, let's try method 16 here. See if I can get it work. Thought you said you collect everything. Yeah, pretty much. You're not collecting that wire covering? No. That way madness lies. I guess I could use it in rubble piles, but maybe if I was doing something futuristic and I needed rubble that looked man-made, I might use some of this, but I am not cutting in the middle of this wire. I am cutting down the middle of the, this is not a polarized wire, but let's just say the positive side and then the negative side. And see if I can't get that to come loose ways. Okay, so that's working kind of. Kind of is better than not. You can have delicate cuts for this and pretty steady hands, which I used to have, but as I've gotten older, I've got a very, very slight tremor in my hands that has gotten worse over time a little. So if you have super shaky hands, that thing I just did probably will not work for you, and I don't have an easy way to correct for that. So yeah, not the let's get my thumb out of the way. It's a bit delicate fiddly work, and I don't know any way to make that easier. So yeah, I probably should have done this in 10 inch, I almost said 10 foot, 10 inch segments. I had a conversation today, technically I'm still in the middle of that conversation over on Discord, about metric versus imperial. And it's kind of funny because I sometimes say things like 1/10 of an inch. I know a 1/10 of an inch is about 2.5 millimeters, but I sometimes say 1/10 of an inch. But I sometimes say 2.5 millimeters, or 2 millimeters, or 3 millimeters, or between 2 and 3 millimeters, or something like that. And one person is not really irritated, but they're like, but that's not how inches work. Inches are in figures in powers of 2. You should do it like halves and quarters and eighths and sixteenths. And I'm like, well, I have those as well, but I have rulers, or scales technically, of come on, let go, of that measure in different amounts. So I will show you some of those. This is what I mean when I say I have a scale, which is different than I also have a scale, which is a different thing. These are draftsman scales, pardon the fact that somehow this one got busted. But some of these are in metric. Some of these are in 16ths of an inch. Some of these are in 20ths of an inch. Some of these are in, I think, 12ths of an inch. And those are for architectural and drafting purposes. I do use these sometimes, though usually I eyeball my stuff. But I used to use these a lot more, especially when I was drawing maps, especially not isolinear. The maps at the 45-degree angle. And, I have a third one. These two are easier to use because they have color codes that tell you which side's on which. So those are nice. But I also have one that's not marked for whatever reason. So, yeah. So if anybody comes in here and they're talking metric, I can have that conversation. If you come in here and you're talking imperial, sure, let's do that. If you're expecting me to stick to only one or the other, ooh, that way disappointment lies. Sucks to be you. All right, let me see if anybody's chatting. No, nobody's really chatting. That's all right. Like I said, this is just a chill stream. It's the end of the year. I don't expect anybody to show up tonight at all. So the fact that there's people watching is very cool to me. I don't know how many people are watching. It says I had 2 for about a split second, and then they went away. That's okay. It's the end of the year. People got stuff to do. So, in case any of y'all missed it, I did sort of a wrap up of stuff I covered in 2025. Boats, dinghies, some platforms. I did those dungeon stacker things a while back. Those, I still need to finish those. I still haven't got the flock and stuff on them. Plus, when I put glue on them and put sand in all of the nooks and crannies and corners, it the glue pulled the sand apart, and there's actually holes and stuff in some of them. So I need to I'm going to cover those holes mostly with flock. I don't think I'm going to re-sand the things. I'm going to just go over them with more flock, with flock. And I can tell you right now, this is not going to be sturdy enough to make trees out of. It's just not. I might make some small bushes out of this type of wire. Yeah, I'm now doing this. I'm now stripping this wire for no real reason because it's not going to make the trees I needed it to. I don't really have any heavier copper, so I I can't really make trees like that out of what I currently own. And what was I saying? Oh, right. So I got to finish those dungeon stackers. And so coming up for 2025, I'm going to be working more on my game behind the scenes, unless y'all want to, if y'all want to help me on the game, if anybody wants to help me on the game, hit me up in my Discord. The link's down below. And we can work on that. I know some people are interested in play testing when it gets to that point, but that's a ways off. I haven't gotten that far yet. The only play testing I've done is basically solo adventuring, which it's not really designed for, but I'm creating it, so I know what I'm doing, kind of thing. And where was I going with that? So I'm going to be creating world settings for that, and in those, I will be creating towns and within the towns, settings like pubs and such, and plus, the mines outside of town and that haunted cave nobody goes to. And there's a tower on a hill that nobody seems to live in, but every once in a while there's the weird, eerie lights coming out. Maybe it's a cult, maybe it's a magician, who knows? Those types of settings. And I will be building for those. Those will be longer videos. Those videos will be few and far between because most people don't watch my long form videos for very long anyway. So I don't want to bore people, really. In addition, I will be having a lot more edited videos of a short variety, which will just be little things like, oh, I did this. Check out what you can do with glue. Or, hey, I built these. I found a new way to make tiles. Let's do that. I did find actually a new way to make tiles. I don't know that I'm going to. I need to experiment. I've never done it that way. I've never seen it that way until recently, and so I don't know that I'm going to put out a video on that until I have done some extensive research myself. But it's pretty cool. You get patterns that are printed, and then you cut them apart so they're individual, so they don't end up looking like a large piece of paper. You then take those and glue those back down onto what's this stuff called? Foam core. And then you glue the squares of foam core onto a back of just heavy card or something. And you press down each of the sides of the little squares or whichever, and it comes out making what looks like real Mediterranean style tiles and such. And it looks like an interesting thing. I think it has great possibilities. I've just never done it. So, wait, is this actually starting to work for me? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, this is what I was trying to do in the first place, was that. Okay, phew. Let's see if I can get this one out. Yeah, there we go. I got to a softer spot in the rubber and away we go. Okay, so that's not going to fit in my little trash cans. Let me snip this up real quick. As you can see, I said these are kind of crummy snippers. They don't even want to go through the rubber, much less the wire. Okay, so toss that in the trashy, or the recycly. All right, now I was hoping to make some trees out of this, but as you can see, even with the full 11 or 13 strands of copper in that, it still is not going to make a rigid tree, even if I twist the wires together, and I can maybe do that, but this basically is not thick enough wire. So like I said, I was just playing around experimenting with that. So I got this short piece. Let's get this one stripped out as well. Ow! Don't stab yourself with the wire, kids. Actually, kids, don't watch my channel. This isn't for you. Go get an adult. Not adult content. It's just not for children. Because not my, you're at your own risk. If you try to do something I've done on my channel and you lop off a finger, that's on you, buddy. I've warned you. I've warned you repeatedly. Say something about that in pretty much all my videos about be careful, be safe, put on your mask, etc., etc., etc. So, can I get enough of a grip on this to just go ahead and strip that out? I don't think so. Ow, and I've stabbed myself with the wire again. Okay, so close you for safety. Okay, one way to do it. Not the preferred way, but it worked. Stuff's coming out all knotted up and ratted out like it's got tangles in its hair. Beautiful coppery colored hair. It's not colored hair, it's actual copper. In spite of Ian Nasir's best efforts. Y'all get that joke? That's the kind of stuff we talk about over on the Discord. Come hang out. History jokes about Ian Nasir. Oh, I'm in. Actually, that would get me. How to pick me up at a party. First off, I don't go to parties, but let's just say I did. So, did you know there was this guy back in Mesopotamian era who was so bad with his copper sales that he used to get complaint letters, and he kept them all, and that's how we know how cuneiform works. Because he helped his complaint letters, his letters to the complaint department. That helped us figure out a lot of the Rosetta Stone, which is actually true. A lot of what we know about ancient languages comes from Ian Nasir's complaints, as he kept all of the clay tablets. I don't know if he thought it was funny or he really was trying to improve. I don't know, but some people accidentally stumble into history, and bless him. He is how we know a lot of how things used to work in day, because we can read those tablets because of his complaints, or complaints against him, not his complaints. So, alrighty. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little short piece and double it back on itself a few times and twist it up and see if I can't get a reasonable tree trunk out of it. Because if I can, then I can do something with those longer ones. And I could certainly get some vines or something out of it. But the problem is going to be the branchy parts at the top. They are not going to be at all rigid. I don't think those are going to work for what I need. Oh, maybe. Like I said, all this stuff's an experiment. I'm not breaking any ground here. Ow! Stabbing myself with the wire again. This is all just trial and error. I think it's hysterical that some people are like, oh, I don't know, there's just this thing I kind of thought of, and it turns out to be like, well, that's amazing, I'm totally going to use that. And there's other stuff that people are like, oh, I invented this thing, and I'm like, yeah, I did that in 7th grade art class. So it's always funny to me. There's nothing new under the sun with this stuff. It's just whether you've seen it yet or not. Or you, universal you, me, you, them, whatever. And so, like I said, I always like to just chill out here and hang out and have a good time. It's not winding up as far, and it keeps unwinding further than I want it to. So sometimes you kind of have to cross the streams with the things here to try to get them to set right. But I think that might actually make a decent little tree. I would have to do a bunch more of this copper, and I personally don't feel like stripping all of that, but would have to do a bunch more of this copper in order to make like whole trees. And I just don't think I'm up to that. So this is a failed experiment, but that's why we experiment. So this will end up getting wound up and then put in my over there. I don't know if you can see it, but that, yeah, maybe not. But there's one I've got that says that's got wires in it and stuff. So try to keep all my stuff organized. It doesn't work. If anybody knows my trials and tribulations I've had with these stupid magnets I can't find for the last 4 years, I bought some magnets, ordered them online, got the wrong size, had to order some others, put those all together, and I have lost my entire package of neodymium magnets. Neodymium, however it's pronounced. So, yeah. Oh. Well, I had a second watcher for a second. Literally, it keeps going boop and then disappearing. So, even the lurker bots aren't hanging out tonight. I think it's that time of year. It's the season ending. So I'm going to go over all my stuff one more time, and then I will probably call it an evening, and we'll hit the ground running in next year. So this year I have made dinghies. That's little boats. I have made some platforms. I have made some stackable modular platforms. I made the trees. I worked on that ship. I worked on all that farm stuff. And yeah, so it's been a fun year, but it's all been live streams this year. I haven't put out any edited videos. Next year, I do plan on putting out edited videos, but those will be one of two styles. Each video will be one of two styles. I will either be just showing very short technique videos of here's how I cut that, or here's how I glued the other, or here's how I painted this thing over here. And the other style will be a bit longer and based on specific builds, like this is the pub from my setting in my own game. But I honestly don't know that I'm going to do that second one because it depends on, there's three things going on there. One, I'm building the game. One, I'm having to create scenarios for the game. When three, I'm then having to want to build that scenario as an actual building. And so I don't know that any of those will actually come out. I don't know that I'll actually get around to those, but I will be building small technique videos. Specifically, so far I have the dinghies, which is, which it doesn't sound like it. That sounds like a craft, not a thing, but it's going to be, I prototyped and built my first dinghy in under an hour the first night I did it. So it'll be, how do you build something really quick on the fly? The other one will be my rubble piles and how to use up some of the scraps and stuff that we have and how to make it look good and presentable on the table. And I had a third one, but I don't remember what it was, but I do have a specific third one. So I've got those three in the works. And excuse me. So yeah, that's really where I'm at with it. Let me go ahead and switch back just again. I cannot say again how much I appreciate all the help from these my patrons, and they really do. They keep me in glue sticks. Like I said, they keep me going with what we're doing here, and yeah, that's really it. In 2026, I plan on moving the live streams to Saturday and earlier in the day, not next week, but soon. I will be building I will be editing videos for those quick techniques. I'll be editing longer videos, maybe, based on settings for my game. And if you don't hear from me, I'm probably working on my game. But if you want to hear from me, go hit me up in the Discord. Links in the down below. So yeah, that's it. Let me turn off this this light that's up here, and then turn on the camera over there. Now I think I'm going to wrap it up and call it an evening. I got off to a weird start with the technology issues and all of that. So, yeah. So it's that light. There we go. That light tends to blind the front camera, so yeah, it's been a sort of boring stream. Sorry about that. Sometimes that happens. It's a thing. I know somebody right now that's got COVID. I know somebody's got issues with the kids and family. I know people that have all sorts of end of year stuff going on. I know people that have start of year stuff going on. So yeah, I hope this wasn't too boring, but like I said, this is just a chill place for us all to hang out. So come hang out in the Discord, and we can all chat about crafting and stuff. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We're all in it together. The Discord is not just about crafting. I do have other stuff like humor stuff and gaming stuff, but mostly it's about crafting. And if you are into little stuff, whether it's tabletop role-playing game minis, terrain, wargaming minis, or terrain, dollhouses, fairy houses, book nooks, anything like that. If you're into those really hyper realistic diorama where you want to make it look like it's exactly a bookstore with the tea houses, all the stuff, any of that, anything where you do it in small, I'm always excited about little tiny itty bitty small things. So yeah, come hang out, have a good time. We're all in this together. And that's really where I'm at with it. I hope that this channel inspires some people, or at least makes some people realize that they are not alone out there, that we're all in this together and we're having a good time. Yeah, that's really, it's all about camaraderie and getting along with each other and finding your place with a group of like-minded weirdos. Everybody's a weirdo in their own way, no matter what their hobbies or interests. I just know that if you're into like little miniature stuff, here's a place for you. Come, sit, grab a stool. We'll have a good time. We'll have a chat. We're all in it together. Just know that in the meantime, I love you. And I wish you luck in your campaign, whether it's on the tabletop or in real life. I hope your 2025 has been decent. I absolutely hope that 2026 is better, even if your 2025 was awesome. I hope 2026 is still better for you. So I'll see you next week, still on Sunday, switching to Saturday soon. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for coming. Hope I've been at least a little bit entertaining. Y'all have a great night.